over young? Or am I faking on the tip of my tongue? There's a sarcasm waiting for you. I'm willing to trade my soul for a bit of your charm. There's no way I fade into oblivion, 'cause I'll keep shining over you all. And if your wings entwining, you better face the fall, keep trying again. Oh yeah, keep trying again. There's mud on the floor.
It's race number 2 in the round of 8 for the Great Lakes Truck Series at Hickory Motor Speedway. It's the R.J. Williams 200. Good evening, everybody. I am Jeff Johnson. High atop the front straightaway here at Hickory. We are looking forward to a good race tonight. A little bit of a difference up here in the booth, if you can't tell. Alex Kolonix is off doing whatever Alex Kolonix does on a Tuesday night. Kyle Lawrence was looking forward to making this race, but it looks like he did not make the field. So we'll see if we can get some of our usual suspects up in the booth here in a little bit. But we are looking forward to a good race here tonight. Checking our notes, it is a 200-lap race, but only 72 miles here at the super short Hickory Motor Speedway. Take a look at our starting lineup in just a minute as the field begins to roll. Starting in P number 1, we have Josh Cottle alongside Ashton Lawson. Elliot Henderson starting 3rd, RJ Williams 4th, Jacob Hayes, Hunter Madalena 6th, Jake Miller, Christopher Heller 8th, Michael Barbachelata, Eric Kepin 10th, Hunter Brittle, Matthew Durr, Nathan Jump in 13th, Brett Kingcott in 14th, Gavin Fitzgerald in 15th, Steven Sims in 16th, Shane Neiswanger in 17th, Austin Moore P18, Lewis Woodall in 19th, Rod Fausno in the 20th position. Starting 21st is Brandon Barkuski, 22nd Ross Brockman, 23rd James Shiflett, 24 is Aiden DuPont, and rounding out the field is Kyle Nogel in 25th. Those bottom 4 drivers did not put down a qualifying lap as we work the pace laps here at Hickory. Looking forward to the restart here in about 2 or 3 laps. Taking a look at the playoff standings, Zach Henry is locked in to the championship round at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2 weeks with a win. Elliot Henderson 10 points above the cut line. Hunter Madalenas 9 points up. Josh Cottle in the 4th position and points, that last point-paying position to get into Atlanta, up 6th. And then some surprising names in the bottom 4 of the round of 8. Jake Miller 6 points out of the final 4. Austin Moore 7th. Nathan Jump 9, and Chris Heller 18 points out after really an incident last week that was through no fault of his own. We'll see how many of these guys are able to rebound tonight. We have 25 trucks on the track. 25 trucks on the track starting this race. That means that's going to be 25 points that are up for grabs or not up for grabs. As we get down to this, the start of this race, looking to see if we're going to be one to go this time by or next time by. It's going to be an interesting race here at Hickory. Not a track we are accustomed to seeing here in the Great Lakes Truck Series, and this is going to push these drivers for all they're worth, as we are indeed on one to go now. So we're going to get the start this time by. But as I was saying, Hickory Motor Speedway, definitely going to be an interesting event here as the pace car works its way through 3 and 4. Going to dive off the track, get out of the way of these drivers as Josh Cottle is going to lead the field to the green down the front straightaway. And the green flag is out here at Hickory. Josh Cottle off to an early lead. Ashton Lawson out. Elliot Henderson, spinning behind him. Looked like Hunter Matalinas got around. And that's a pile up in turn 4 already. Hunter Matalinas, the 6. Steven Sims, Brett Kingcott, Matt Durr, all piled up in turn 4 after not even completing a lap. It looked like Hunter Matalinas just got loose. Let's take a look at the replay as drivers obviously not happy on the radio. Listening to driver chat. So we'll take this from the restart. We'll take this from the start. You can see Hunter Matalinas. The field gets going pretty good. No incidents. No incidents from the get-go. You can see the 9 truck heading down the back straightaway. Everything's fine, and he just spins out. Not sure if it was a shift gone wrong or what, but actually it looks like there might have been a couple different incidents there. Hunter spun, and then it looked like a secondary incident happened and rolled into him. So let me see if I can roll the replay back and see what that was all about. Going to be looking for the 2 of Matt Durr. So here that is. We've got the 2 of Matt Durr down the back straightaway. Gavin Fitzgerald's going to get in the corner, get under him. Maybe a little bit of gap whack in the 1 off into the corner. Just not able to avoid either incident. Same thing with the 6. Sad incident for that Mark Martin throwback. But this is Hickory, so cautions are going to be short. Field already on 1 to go. Josh Cottle, Ashton Lawson, Elliot Henderson, RJ Williams, Jacob Hayes are going to be your top 5 as we're going to go green again and see if we can make it more than a lap. Elliot Henderson a little loose on the start, backs it up just a little bit. Oh, the 24 off into the corner. Ashton Lawson way high. These drivers are all over the place on the racetrack right now, but it looks like we are clean so far. Single file pretty quickly throughout the top 10. Lewis Woodall and Ashton Lawson battling. We just saw Ashton a second ago get really loose into turn 1 on the restart. That might be something we're going to see tonight at a track like Hickory. The surface is probably as old as I am. What that actually means, take that for what it's worth. A little farther up, we can see Jake Miller working the high side, getting around the 22 of Michael Barbagelata. Jake Miller, one of our championship hopefuls, not one of our championship hopefuls, sorry. Is one of our championship hopefuls. I don't know how to read. There are a couple too many Jakes in this league as we see him have a big moment off of 4, off of 2. Almost looped it, saved it. 3 wide off of turn 3 now. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work. Nathan Jumps pushing up into the side of Shane Nicewanger. These drivers are going to get it sorted out. A big moment there for Jake Miller. He falls to the 9th position, just ahead of Gavin Fitzgerald and Shane Nicewanger. No prisoners being taken here early on lap 12 at Hickory. A 200-lap race, but this is only totals out to about a 72-mile event unless we get some overtime. So this is going to be one of those races. This race is going to go by just about as quick as we've seen a race go by this season without any yellows. See Ashton Lawson and Nathan Jump battling for the 11th position. A little farther up, Gavin Fitzgerald passing Michael Barbagelata for the 7th position. Barbagelata looks slow. Doesn't make any moves this time by. Incident at the back. Lewis Woodall looks like he's looped it around off turn 2, and that's going to bring the yellow flag out as he tries to get that truck turned around. Looks like he's going to get lapped by the leaders. Might get the lucky dog, might not. We'll have to see how iRacing rules on that. But the second caution of the day out, Lewis Woodall going for a loop off turn 2. Let's take a quick look at it and see what happened. Well, it looks like the 25 got into the back of the 13. The 13 was riding that apron transition and just couldn't save it. Around on the back straightaway. It looks like no big damage on that 13 truck. Lewis Woodall knocked out of this round of the playoffs through just some unfortunate circumstances. We'll ride on board with the 25 of Brandon Barkuski. See what he saw in that incident. Yeah, just gets into the corner a little bit deeper than Lewis Woodall does. Slight contact to that back end, and Woodall just unable to save it. So we're working our second caution of the day here at Hickory. Field still rolling behind the iRacing pace car. The top 5 still remains unchanged. Josh Cottle is your leader. RJ Williams up to second. Jacob Hayes in third. Elliot Henderson fourth. And Chris Heller up to the 5th position. And we're already on lap 20 of 200 here at Hickory. So looking for this race to be moving pretty quick as we get down to it. Looking down the running order, we already have one driver, Brett Kingcott, who is on the track but 14 laps down after that first incident. Obviously had to come to pit road and get some damage repaired. You could see just the significant damage on that truck. And this might become a race of attrition tonight. Field is doubled up behind the iRacing pace car. It's going to dive down pit road right here, and we are going to get restart number 3. Clean and green on that restart. Josh Cottle out to the lead, comfortable lead again. Looking a little farther back, Jake Miller and William Barbagellotta battling again. That is for the 8th position, just behind Gavin Fitzgerald. We're beginning to see some drivers try to make that lane just off the bottom work. Ashton Lawson on the high side on Michael Barbagellotta. You see him, he gets a little bit of run off the corner, but isn't able to carry the momentum just with the shape of Hickory and the lack of banking here. Oh, caution's out now. Elliot Henderson around on the back straightaway. Gonna have to see what that is all about. Not hearing any chatter on the radio. Elliot Henderson was running top 10, I believe, before that incident. So under caution again, and let's see what happened to that 37 truck. Elliot Henderson in lime green 37 EHG design truck, and yeah, you see him come off the corner in front of the 11 of Chris Heller, and he just loops it. Simplest accident we've seen so far tonight. Elliot Henderson with a very uncharacteristic mistake off the corner. Just looks like he might have picked up the throttle a little too early, and around that 37 truck goes. We'll take a look at it from above, see if he did get any contact from that 11 truck, but I don't believe he did. No contact, just a little bit of tire spin off the corner. The 37 goes around, yellow comes out, no contact on that 37 truck. So Elliot Henderson will be working his way up from the back, but with an undamaged race truck. Caution number 3 so far here at Hickory. We are lap 28 coming to lap 29 this time by. And we're moving fast. We're moving pretty fast. If you're just joining us, I am Jeff Johnson. Not a usual suspect up here in the booth tonight, but Alex and Kyle both had prior commitments that they are taking care of, which is no big deal. We're all friends here, and we're doing our best to make this the best broadcast for you guys. Hickory, a very unique racetrack that the Great Lakes Truck Series has not been to before. Kind of a one-off event for the playoffs. going to be interesting to see how the rest of this race unfolds. Restart this time by on lap 31. Josh Cottle, RJ Williams, Jacob Hayes, Christopher Heller, and Hunter Brittle. Your top 5. Elliott Henderson will restart after that incident back in the 19th position. iRacing pace car is going to make that left turn onto pit road, and we are green once again. Clean and green for the first lap of that restart. You could see a little bit of battling in the mid-pack. The 14 of Gavin Fitzgerald outside the 10 of Hunter Brittle. Same thing with the number 22 of Michael Barbagelata and the 49 of Shane Neiswanger. And it's good to see that 22 of Michael Barbagelata running up towards the front, new to the Great Lakes Truck Series this season. Seeing a lot of speed here late in the season coming out of that number 22 truck, and it'll be interesting to see if that 22 returns next season. It'll be interesting to see how he contends with some of these guys. Still working to the outside of Nathan Jump. A battle a little farther forward. Jake Miller, Gavin Fitzgerald, Hunter Brittle battling for the 5th position. A little bit of a brawl here. It looks like Hunter Brittle is gonna take the advantage of this battle for now, and leaves Gavin Fitzgerald and Jake Miller to battle for the 6th position. A big gap has opened up between the top 5. We're seeing Josh Cottle lead by about half a second over second place RJ Williams, Jacob Hayes in 3rd, Chris Heller in 4th, Hunter Brittle in 5th. And this battle around the 6th and 7th position continues. It looks like Jake Miller is finally going to get free. Now Shane Neiswanger looking to the inside of the 14 of Gavin Fitzgerald. Caution out again, looking around the racetrack, not seeing what brought out that yellow, but yellow flag is on the speedway for the 4th time tonight. Looking around the racetrack, still not seeing what might have brought out that yellow. Actually hearing now that it might have been the 9 of Hunter Madalinas, so we'll roll it back with that 9 truck and see what might have happened to him. I am simply not seeing what brought out that yellow. Kind of a unique at a track like Hickory. For as small as this track is, no clear indication on what that yellow is. Actually, it looks like I might have just found it here. You're going to see the 13 of Lewis Woodall get a little low coming off the corner and just lose it on the front straightaway. Loops it around. Ooh, almost back up in front of traffic. That is going to bring the yellow out for the 4th time tonight. Was what all you see him there again, just low off the corner, loops it but holds the brake to avoid coming back up into traffic. So we reset again. Working caution number 4 on lap 42 of 200. Race is still moving by at a pretty good pace. Josh Cottle has led every lap so far over RJ Williams, and something that we haven't talked about so far and that I'm kind of looking at, I don't know off the top of my head if it's anything we're going to have to deal with tonight, but I'm wondering about pit stops. I don't know, with how short this track is, I don't know that pit stops are going to be a thing tonight. That is something I neglected to talk to anybody about in the pre-race, so we'll just have to see how that unfolds as we get ready for our 5th restart of the night. Josh Cottle takes the green flag over RJ Williams and Jacob Hayes. Yellow flag out again. We see a bit of a pileup here off in turn number 2. Looks like the 16, the 13 we saw get involved in it at the end. The 1 of Brett Kingcott again involved in this incident. So we'll have to see what happened. A little bit of contact is going to have brought this yellow out. We are looking on the front straightaway with the 15 and the 16 truck. Those two drivers working their way through 3 and 4. You're going to see the 15 truck just get a little bit of contact from the 16 and go around. 15 clips the 16. Lewis Woodall comes to a stop, almost makes it through, then gets turned at the very end. The 1 of Brett Kingcott comes to a stop. Good move by that one truck to avoid getting any more damage. On board with Lewis Woodall, we'll see what he saw. A little bit of contact twice late in that incident for Lewis Woodall. Lewis Woodall has come to pit road. Looks like he's put tires on it and is going to repair a little bit of damage, so have to see how that works out for the 13 truck. So we work caution number 5 here at Hickory, looking around the track. So far, so good for these top drivers. Pace car in this time by Josh Cottle and RJ Williams. Start again. Ryerson pace car left down to pit road. Green flag is out. RJ Williams spun the tires big time on that restart. Jacob Hayes is going to stay to his inside through 1 and 2, and that's going to stack the field up just a little bit. 3 wide in the back, getting into the corner. Nathan jump inside of Kevin Fitzgerald, almost contact, but they managed to sort it out. Whew. Shane Neiswanger high up into the side of the 14 through 3 and 4. A big battle now for that 8th, 7th position on the racetrack. Looking a little farther back, the 63 of Eric Kepf and the 25 of Brandon Barkuski battling for the 12th position. 2 drivers we haven't seen much of towards the front yet tonight. Obviously, we saw Brandon Barkuski involved in a little bit of an incident earlier on. No harm, no foul. Everybody involved in that kept going. Brandon Barkuski all the way on the apron through 3 and 4. That was an interesting line that I don't know that I'd noticed tonight. Didn't work out for him as Eric Kepf will get the spot. And now the 63 looking to make a move on the 22 truck, but Barkuski comes back to the bottom. Makes a little bit better of it. Looking around the track now, the 37 of Elliot Henderson, we saw that spin a couple of cautions ago. Back up to the 15th position, but going nowhere in a hurry by my estimation. Looking at timing and scoring, it looks like he has pit. So Elliot Henderson has made at least 1 stop on pit road. He is 18 laps into a stint compared to the drivers around him who are almost 60 laps into the stint having not pitted. So I don't know if a pit stop will be required tonight, but it is definitely something that we might see play into the hands of this 37 truck if we get into a long run. Only time will tell us a little farther to the back. We see the 28 and the 52 battling for position. That's Ross Brockman and James Shiflett. Back in front of them now, Elliot Henderson looking to the inside of Aiden DuPont. to make it look a little easy getting this run off the corner. But move Elliott Henderson up to the 14th position, bearing down on Eric Kemp now for 13th. And behind them, the 00, Aiden DuPont, and the 91 of Austin Moore, and Hunter Madalena, so you're going to start a battle from 15th position. Up front, it's still Josh Cottle over R.J. Williams and Jacob Hayes. No surprise there. These drivers have pulled out about a second lead over 4th place Christopher Heller. 5th, Jake Miller. 6th, Ashton Lawson. Hunter Riddle in 7th. Shane Neiswanger in 10th. Gavin Fitzgerald in 9th. And Nathan Jump, probably the surprise of the Great Lakes Truck Series season, doing good in 10th. Jump 9 points out of the playoffs. Looking to pick up maybe a surprise win or just a handful of points here tonight, running in the 10th position. The yellow flag is going to come out, and ooh, it looks like we have an incident. It is the 25 and the 22 off of turn number 4. Not seeing a whole lot of damage on those trucks. We'll grab the replay and see what happens. So another incident. You're looking at the 25 to the inside of the 22 on this one. Brandon Barkuski get low, all the way low on the apron again. I'm not entirely sure if that is a line that these drivers are trying to use tonight, but inside the 20, a little bit of contact and just come to a stop off turn 4. That brings the yellow flag out for the 6th time this evening. Take another look at it through 3 and 4. 25 almost all the way to the grass on the inside line. The 22 comes down. I assuming that he's not going to come up, and the 25 comes up a little bit, and those drivers just come to a stop off 4. But another incident of no harm, no foul. Going to bring out the caution on lap 6. Now we have a little bit of shuffling at the front. Have to look and see. I see what that was. A little bit of a timing and scoring blip, my mistake. Josh Cottle still in the lead. Carter gives 1 to go at the line. The lights are off around the track. We're going to see another number 7 tonight on lap 70 of 200 here at Hickory. It's still Josh Cottle and Williams, along with Jacob Hayes, dominating this race. Ashton Lawson, Shane Neiswanger, and Hunter Riddle up in the front. We're going to go green again. Yellow's going to come out fast. Looking around the track, not entirely sure. Entirely sure what just brought that yellow out. I didn't see any slow trucks around the racetrack, but look and see. Like an incident on the restart. 25 and the 22. A little bit of an issue on that restart. Huh. An interesting look there. We saw the 22 back of the 25 on that restart. Those two involved in the previous caution coming off turn number 4. I think the roles might have been reversed here just a little bit. Not entirely sure what to make of that. It looks like the 22 might have just driven through the 25. That is something we'll probably look at more post-race. Here we are again, lap 75, caution number 7. We're averaging about a caution every 10 laps. Tempers shortening on the radio a little bit, listening in on the driver channel, and some not nice things are being said right now between a lot of these drivers. One to go at the line again. So tempers, oh my god, tempers are beginning to boil over a little bit here at Hickory, and we're not even halfway, so we'll see how the rest of this race plays out for a lot of these drivers. Josh Connell again over R.J. Williams. Restart all the way around the track. The 28, gonna dive it in the corner on the inside of the 11. Somehow made that work. 28 battling Christopher Heller for the 12th position on the racetrack. Kind of a big gaggle of cars here in the mid-pack. Caution number 8 on the racetrack. Saw that incident right there. Christopher Heller involved. Take a look at it and see what happened. It looked like Ross Brockman got into the corner pretty hard and might have just not had room to come up into the side of that 11 truck. Take a look at it right here. See the 25 or the 52 truck. The 52 gets into the corner. Levin might have been coming down, assuming he could block or just get in front of that 52 truck into the corner. But obviously it didn't work out for either of them. Both drivers involved in this incident to bring out our 8th caution of the night. Another look at it from our front straightaway, our tower camera. Yeah, it looks like the 52 was committed to getting into the corner, and the 11 just cut down on him, so. Another incident here at Hickory. No harm, no foul for either of those trucks, but temperatures and patience are obviously starting to be at a premium here as we get down into this race. Looking around the field, no takers onto pit road this time by one taker onto pit road, actually, Pont. Now running last car in the lead lap. He's going to have made a pit stop right here. Going to be on fresh tires. Will be interesting strategy for Aiden DuPont listening to the driver chatter. Start to see a little bit of levity in races like this between drivers, and that's always something we enjoy seeing. Josh Cottle and R.J. Williams still have command of this race. Jacob Hayes in third. All green flag again. Clean so far through 1 and 2. Hunter Brittle, Eric Kep, Austin Moore battling for the 7th position. Eric Kep going to lose a little bit of ground on that high side. Lewis Woodall around off of turn 4. That is going to bring the yellow out once again. See that 13 truck pretty banged up. We'll grab a look at the replay, just see what happened to Lewis Woodall, but looks like another instance where just might have grabbed that transition just a little bit, picked up the throttle too early and looped it off of 4. That one definitely did some damage to the front end. Let's ride on board with the 13 and see what he saw and heard. I might have picked up the throttle just a little bit too much off of 4 and looped it around, and we have a big change up front. Our top 3 drivers, the drivers that have been in command of this race, have made a pit stop. So that is going to hand the lead over to Shane Neiswanger, Hunter Brittle, Austin Moore, Eric Kep, and Elliot Henderson. Those are going to be your top 5 drivers on the restart, and we have to look all the way back in the 18th position to find RJ Williams, Jacob Hayes, Josh Cottle. RJ Williams actually making a 2nd pit stop. See him coming off pit road right now. Not sure what that's about. Josh Cottle running in the 14th position. Jacob Hayes in 16th. And the 3 drivers that have been in total control of this race are now relegated to outside the top 15. We're gonna have to see how that shakes out as this race goes on. They're gonna be on the freshest tires, but the way this race has gone, I'm not entirely sure those fresh tires are going to mean much. Other drivers that hit pit road that time, Ashton Lawson, Jacob Hayes, Lewis Woodall, and James Shiflett, alongside Gavin Fitzgerald, all made pit stops under this yellow. So pit strategy starting to come into play here. Obviously, these drivers had to make 1 pit stop at least for fuel. Lights out around the track. Shane Neiswanger is going to lead Hunter Brittle, Eric Kep, and Austin Moore to the green flag on lap 95 here at Hickory. Yellow flag is going to come out almost immediately. Like a bit of an incident at the back of the pack. The 32-28 of James Shiflett, rather. We'll roll it back and see what happened. These drivers a little bit spread out on the restart. Oh yeah, James Shiflett a little bit high on that restart, going through 1 and 2 and just kind of looped it at the back of the pack. Backed it into the wall. A little bit of damage to that truck, but that's going to bring the caution out for the 10th time in this race. So no big movers on that restart. Shane Neiswanger, Austin Moore, Hunter Brittle, Elliot Henderson, your top 4. Josh Cottle, 12th. Jacob Hayes, 14th. RJ Williams still in the 18th position. Not a lot of time for those drivers on fresh tires to get much of anywhere on that very brief restarts. As we're looking at the halfway mark here at Hickory, is the RJ Williams 200. 200 laps, but a measly 76 miles here in the foothills of North Carolina, and it's been an interesting race so far. We've seen a little bit of everything from from one big pileup to a bunch of incidents where it's just these drivers figuring out where the threshold is at this racetrack. And I think as we get closer to the finish and deeper into this race, and especially with playoff drivers up front and playoff hopes on the line, you might see a little bit of desperation begin to set in for these drivers. You can tell by those blue spoilers. Austin Moore, the highest running playoff driver right now. He's in the second position. Elliott Henderson right behind him in fourth. Jake Miller right behind them in sixth. And all these guys are looking to pick up big points heading into Homestead next week. The pace car is going to make the left turn down pit road. Green flag once again here at Hickory at the halfway mark. A battle for the lead. Haven't seen this much all night. The 49 still to the inside of Austin Moore. Austin Moore holding strong on that outside. Hunter Brittle might be looking to break up this battle just a little bit. Looks like Ashton Lawson might have had an incident. He is around on the back straightaway. We're going to see if that brings the caution out. Does not look like it will. You see the leader's bearing down on him quick. He's going to get high and get out of the way. Going to be able to pull away from these guys. Still stay on the lead lap without getting lapped. So he'll probably be hoping for a caution here pretty quick. But still a pretty good battle here for the lead. Shane Neiswanger, Austin Moore, Hunter Brittle, Brandon Barkuski. Barkuski up into the fourth position. I haven't seen him in the top 10 much tonight. Elliott Henderson fifth, Jake Miller sixth, Josh Cottle. He was one of our front runners before they pitted. Josh Cottle and Jacob Hayes up to the 7th and 8th spots respectively, and they are getting it done. Cottle going to move up to 6th position on those fresh tires. Ooh, I heard a little bit of a... Sounded like someone made a little bit of contact with the wall off of 4. Looking around, don't see any obvious damage on these drivers, so no harm, no foul for them, I hope. Up front, it is still Shane Neiswanger and Austin Moore. Josh Cottle battling Elliott Henderson for that 5th position. And I think that 32 truck is going to take it easy. Jacob Hayes hot on his heels. RJ Williams not far behind, up to the 11th position. And these these drivers that we had seen in total control of this race, making it look easy, having just come down pit road for tires and fuel, I assume, and they're moving right back to the front like they never left. So an interesting strategy. Looks like it's going to pay off for now for those drivers, and definitely a good call for the 32 of Josh Cottle, who is sitting 6 points above the cut line in the playoffs over Jake Miller in the 5th position. So Josh Cottle already netting ahead so far. We'll have to see how the race ends, but definitely looking good for him. Checking in on our other playoff drivers. Zach Henry with a win is locked in, so he could have the worst night he's had all season and still advance to the round of 4 at Atlanta. Elliott Henderson running 6th in the 6th position, 10 points above the cut line. Points above the cut line for Elliott Henderson, running in the 6th position over Brandon Barkuski and Christopher Heller. Hunter Madalinas has had a night, and it is not looking good for that 9 truck. Back in the 22nd position and a lap down. So Hunter Madalinas is going to be looking at quite the points deficit as they run right now. Josh Cottle, we just talked about him. I tell you what, I was doing too much talking. Josh Cottle and Jacob Hayes have just taken the lead away from Shane Neiswanger and Austin Moore, and they're walking away with it. So those drivers, Josh Cottle now in position to potentially lock himself into the round of 4 at Atlanta, and he's making it look easy. Jacob Hayes, not a playoff driver, might be looking to play a little bit of spoiler for Josh Cottle. Austin Moore in the 3rd position is 7 points outside of the playoffs as it stands. So running in 3rd right now, second highest running playoff driver, might be looking to pick up just a few points on that playoff cut line, but not much with where Elliot Henderson is on track. Nathan jumped 9 points out. He is running in the 9th position, so a lot of these drivers still pretty close together on the racetrack, and Christopher Heller in the 7th position. So with the way these drivers are running, pretty all knotted up. As it stands, not a lot of movement in the points. Josh Cottle would leapfrog from 4th in points to 2nd with that win and move the cut line just a little bit, but not much. 81 laps to go here at Hickory. Josh Cottle over Jake Pace. They have pulled out a 1.5 second lead over Austin Moore, Shane Neiswanger, Elliot Henderson, and the rest of the field. RJ Williams on the same strategy as those drivers were, but having a little bit tougher of a time getting through the field. Took a little bit longer on pit road, ended up a little farther back, but we see him now has kind of worked through the meat of this run, the longest green flag run we've had so far tonight by far, as we're coming up on 78 laps to go here at Hickory. We're going to see RJ Williams move to the inside of Elliot Henderson, and I assume make it look easy, as he is going to be moving up into the 5th position on the racetrack. Now going to be looking for Austin Moore and Shane Neiswanger to retake his bronze position on the racetrack. A little farther back, we can see Gavin Fitzgerald battling just ahead of Hunter Brittle and Christopher Heller. Christopher Heller looking to dig his way out of a very deep hole after an incident last week at New Hampshire. 18 points below the cut line. So not looking good as it stands right now for Christopher Heller points-wise. Listening to the radio, might have been a little bit of a moment here farther back in the pack between Lewis Woodall and Hunter Brittle. Lewis Woodall running that blue playoff banner, but not in the playoffs. One of these days, someone's going to go out there and with a little bit of black spray paint and cover that truck up. That way it doesn't confuse the heck out of me and our other booth mates up in the booth. Hunter Madalena still a lap down, and is now not the only driver a lap down. Rod Fosnow has fallen a lap down and is about half a lap ahead of that 9 truck. So if we get a caution, Hunter Madalena's going to be looking for a wave around or a little bit of prayer as he looks to get back on the lead lap and make up some points. RJ Williams is going to retake the 3rd position from Austin Moore, and that is going to put us right back where we've been the entire race. Josh Cottle and Jacob Hayes have pulled out a 4-second lead over 3rd place RJ Williams, and they are lapping trucks now. They are lapping trucks left and right. Going to be looking to lap the 22 of Michael Barbagelata to start lapping our lead lap trucks, and see them right there. There they go, right to the inside. So drivers like Hunter Madalenas, who were a lap down, maybe looking for a little bit of help from the racing gods, their chances are only going to get slimmer from here of being able to make up points or positions on the racetrack. Taking a look from high above the track, you can see how the field has just kind of merged into one long accordion all the way around this racetrack. Our leaders have caught the back of the field and are working on lapping them. And from above, you can actually see how slow this track is, relatively speaking, for these drivers. Going to be looking at our timing and scoring here, looking for any drivers that might not have pit yet this race, and I'm actually shocked to see we have two drivers by my count, who have yet to make pit stops. Running in the 5th position, Shane Neiswanger has not made a pit stop this race, and I'm not sure if that's something that's going to come back to bite him or not here in the long run. It looks like it might, as Elliot Henderson, they're going to make big contact off the corner. Elliot Henderson And the 49 truck, Shane Neiswanger, into the wall fairly hard off the corner. He's going to fall quickly back to the 9th position as Elliott Henderson to his inside, and looked like the 37 just ran out of room off the corner and used the 49 to not hit the wall. A big moment there. Elliott Henderson is going to fall to 7th outside of Gavin Fitzgerald, trying to make that high line work. Not going to make it work right there, as now he has Christopher Heller breathing down his neck. Heller going to be looking to the inside, not going to get it done this time by. You have to wonder if Shane Neiswanger might be looking for a little bit of payback. Maybe not anything dramatic, but might be looking to get back to that 37 and show his displeasure, as they might say in the industry, with that 37 truck. Keep an eye on that. Looking up front, it's still Josh Cottle and Jacob Hayes lapping the field here at Hickory. Out to now about a 6-second lead over 4th place Austin Moore. They are a little over half a lap ahead of the 4th place drivers. And I think it is only going to go downhill from there for those drivers outside the top 3 who did not pit under the last series of yellows. Looking around the track, you can see here the 13 of Lewis Woodall running a lap down, battling with the 28 of James Shiplett for the lucky dog spot. He's going to fall behind, not going to be able to make that work. So we're starting to see a lot of intermingling with lapped cars and lap down cars on the track as this run just continues to get longer. Longest green flag run of the night by at least 35 laps and counting at this point. Not a lot of battles for position on the racetrack right now as I look around. So we'll reset for you a little bit. You can see 69 of Jacob Hayes in the lead over 2nd place Josh Cottle. You can see those drivers actually just lapped Hunter Madalinas for a 2nd time, so the bad night just continues to get a little worse for that 9 truck. Going to be interesting to see how the rest of this place plays out. 2nd place Josh Cottle, 3rd place RJ Williams, and look at the gap from RJ Williams back to the 4th place truck. Oh, the 13 of Lewis Woodall is going to come to pit road right there. It was almost an accident off of 4. 5th place Nathan Jumps, 6th place Gavin Fitzgerald, 7th is Chris Heller, 8th Elliott Henderson, Jake Miller back in 9th, and Brandon Barkuski battling back here with Shane Neiswanger. The 10th position. It looks like the 25 is, actually it looks like the 25 is going to get loose off the corner. So almost had the spot, but wasn't able to make it work right there. Going to be looking to make it work right here. And the 59 of Shane Neiswanger. Not entirely sure if fuel is an issue, but if it is, the 49 of Shane Neiswanger has not pitted at all this race. So I would assume if he doesn't have to pit, then everything will be fine. But if he does have to pit, the 49 of Shane Neiswanger has to be praying for the racing gods for a yellow. .45 laps to go here at Hickory. Looking at the 29 of Nathan Jump, who has moved his way up to the 5th position. Not sure if you could say many bad things about this 29 of Nathan Jump. And the joke early in the season, actually, I believe earlier in the season, became the first Great Lakes racing driver to win a race on a controller. The 29 of Nathan Jump won, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, won the Bristol race earlier in the season on dirt. I'll have to go back and double check that just to make sure I'm right, but um, the news this week, not sure if he set it up or not, didn't get a chance to talk to him pre-race, but Nathan Jump has acquired a wheel. And if he is indeed running that wheel right now, it is so far so good for that 29 truck. Already a little behind in the playoffs in the 7th position, about 9 points back to the cutoff line and Josh Cottle, but up to 5th right now, looking to make out of here with at least a couple points on that cut line. If Josh Cottle were to win this race, that'll obviously move the cut line up. So a good run so far for Nathan Jump. Looking back a little farther, Chris Heller, Elliot Henderson running 7th and 8th, so not a lot of spread between our playoff drivers. That is going to make it an even more interesting show heading into Homestead, Miami next week. And that is going to be a race you are not going to want to miss, because it is one of those racetracks where there is every inch of that track is going to be raceable, and these drivers have a habit. They do their best work when they're on a racing track, so that is going to be something you'll want to tune in and watch next week here on FRN. And then in 2 weeks, we've got the championship race at Atlanta, and I do believe it will be the Legacy Atlanta. So something that the Truck Series is going to stick to, at least for this season, is the Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is where they have crowned all of their previous champions. Both of those events are going to be something you don't want to miss. 38 laps to go on track right now here at Hickory. Not a lot of action around the track. RJ Williams, Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes have lapped up to about the 12th position. Shade Neiswanger is a lap down. Ashton Lawson going to be going a lap down here in a moment. And the 32 of Josh Cottle and 69 of Jacob Hayes. They've made this race look easy. They played their pit strategy absolutely perfect, and they're making the field pay for their sins here at Hickory with 35 laps to go, and it is just a 2-horse race. These drivers, looking around, they also have a 10-second lead over 4th place. RJ Williams is running in 3rd place, has been catching these drivers a little bit per lap. We'll have to see. That's able to work out for RJ as we get down to it. Heard a driver just come to pit road. It's Hunter Brittle, so it looks like indeed like these drivers that have stayed out the entire race were not going to be able to make it on fuel. And Hunter Brittle now 2 laps down, looking at possibly going 3 laps down as he almost spins coming off pit road. And here comes Shane Neiswanger, our other driver who had not pit at all, to take fuel, presumably tires, and just kind of own his shame a little bit. We see right there looks like he missed his pit stall getting in, so strategy not going to work out in those drivers' favors. Going to fall 2, if not 3 laps down for those guys, and that might be all she wrote for those drivers. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where they land post-race. Again, up front, it is the Josh Cottle show, and caution is out. It looks like Hunter Brittle on those fresh tires went around on the front straightaway. So that is going to draw the caution, and that is going to change things. Going to bunch the field up, and it's going to set us up for a fantastic finish here at Hickory. We're going to rewind the tape and see what happened to Hunter Brittle. It looks like those fresh tires might have just been a little bit more than he had bargained for off of turn number 4. Looking for the replay right here. See Hunter Brittle off into turn number 3 over Brandon Barkuski, making it look easy, but gets down on the apron, and then it looks like he might just pick the throttle up too much coming off the corner and loops it. Seeing it time and time again here tonight. Drivers might be picking up the throttle just a little too early. So Hunter Brittle going to bring the caution out. Caution number 11 with about 25 laps to go. And that is gonna bunch this field up. And it's really gonna show the damage that Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes were able to do to this field. We only have, if I'm looking at everything right here, we only have 10 drivers on the lead lap. And I tell you what, if I'm that 10th place driver, if I'm Nathan Jump, I'm gonna make a pit stop. And as a matter of fact, that is exactly what he did. All of the drivers, the top 3 stayed out. The top 4 stayed out actually. Looks like Brandon Barkuski, Gavin Fitzgerald, Jacob Hayes, and Josh Cottle stayed out, and 5th place on back dropped down pit road to take, I assume, 4 tires. I can't imagine why you wouldn't take anything other than 4 tires here. And now I think the rules might be reversed for this top 2 duo. 85 laps on a set of tires for these drivers. Put a hurting on the field over this last about 60, 75 laps. And we're going to see if they have trucks to be able to maintain this lead. Nine trucks now on the lead lap. Looks like somebody might have gotten caught a lap down. A good start so far for our top drivers. Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes, RJ Williams. So far, so good for those 3, but it's going to be Elliot Henderson. Was looking to the inside, now we're going to get the yellow. Looks like it's going to be the 1 of Brett Kingcott and the 10 of Hunter Brittle. See those drivers slow off the corner. Let's roll up the replay and see what happened here. Apologies for that little bit of technical snafu. I missed the restart there because I was too busy. I was too excited. I was too excited looking at timing and scoring to realize I was still a couple laps behind on screen, so apologies for that. But let's roll the tape back for real this time, and we'll see. I believe it is going to be Hunter Brittle. Just get a little bit loose on this restart. Be looking for the 10 truck. Oh wow, what on earth was that? Oh my goodness. Hunter Madalinas was basically stopped in the middle of the racetrack. Let me roll it back again. I have no idea what that was about. Oh my goodness, that was a violent accident for the 10 truck. Let's look at it from high above the racetrack. Look at that 9 truck of Hunter Madalinas going to get off the corner. Oh, he's going to be digging as hard as he can and going to get loose and hit the wall. And, oh, my. Just a horrible accident for those drivers. The 9 truck, just the way he impacted the wall, it basically stopped that truck in front of traffic. And it is going to have done significant damage to some of these drivers in the back half of the field. James Shiflett, Hunter Brittle, all involved. You see that 9 truck just, I mean, nowhere for anybody to go. An unfortunate set of circumstances for those drivers, but another caution means another restart. Field is on 1 to go. Josh Cottle, RJ Williams, Austin Moore, Nathan Jump, and Elliot Henderson are your top 5. Restart number 13 with 15 laps to go here at Hickory. The pace car is going to make the left turn down pit road. Josh Cottle is going to jump off. Nathan Jump spun the tires, almost spun out. Oh, there goes RJ Williams. RJ Williams is around in the corner. Oh, he's going to be clipped by Brett Kingcott. Wow, a lot of action on the track, and oh man, you can see the smoke coming out of the back of the 21 of RJ Williams. That is going to be all she wrote. That is going to be all she wrote for that truck. You can see the 21 make that left turn onto pit road and retire. Let's roll it back once again. And we'll be looking at two things on that restart. The first thing we're going to look at Nathan Jump's phenomenal save on this restart. Looks like he tried to time it to go with the leaders, and he went just a little too hard. Watch that 29 truck. Second truck on the inside. He spikes the throttle and almost hits the pit wall, spins those rear tires. A fantastic save and a big incident by that 29 truck. You see RJ Williams spinning there. We'll get to that in just a second. And oh man, looks like it's going to be a little bit of contact that brought the 21 around. We'll look at it from above again. RJ Williams, second truck on the outside. You see the 29 spin out of the way, opening the door for the 91. The 91 gets in the corner and just gets into the back of the 21 truck. Not very hard, but just enough to turn RJ Williams around, and then the one of Brett Kingcott, nowhere to go on the high side, into the front end of RJ Williams, and that'll be his damage and his race. So RJ Williams, a front runner all night long, at least the third fastest truck, if not, could have potentially been the fastest. You never know. He might have just been saving it for the end here. Is out of the race, and this changes things once again. And it's going to be a playoff driver battle to the finish. It looks like we're going to have about 9 laps to go on the restart. And look at this. Josh Cottle over Austin Moore, Elliott Henderson, Brandon Barkuski. The top 4. And if I was Josh Cottle, I would probably be shaking in my boots right about now, because I think these fresh tires are going to pay dividends for these drivers. Austin Moore only 16 laps into a run. Elliott Henderson only 9 laps into a run. So it is going to be a frantic finish here. 9 laps to go on the restart. Pace car down pit road, and we'll let you watch him for a lap as Josh Cottle takes the green flag. Oh, Josh Cottle runs up the racetrack. Austin Moore is going to run away with it. Elliott Henderson to his inside, but there's contact between Elliott Henderson and Jacob Hayes. Brandon Barkuski is going to go around, and that's going to bring the yellow out. Wow. That was another frantic restart. That's going to set us up for just another restart. Let's grab the replay again and dissect it just a little bit. Brandon Barkuski, final straw in all that action on the restart. Let's just watch it from above and see how this unfolds. Ahead the 91, the 32 up the track, the 91 into the back of him and just off the corner. Elliott Henderson low off the corner, and Jake Miller actually going to make contact with the 25 truck to bring that yellow out. Let's look at it one more time, and I tell you what, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's watch from high above again. Let's just slow it down and kind of dissect everything that was going on here. Tell you what, let's half speed it. There we go. Austin Moore, Josh Cottle goes wide. Austin Moore takes the lead easily. Elliott Henderson a little low off the corner. Elliott and Jacob Hayes make contact, and you look at the Ford truck. The Ford truck almost 3 wide inside of Barkuski. Barkuski comes down just a little bit. That is all she wrote for that truck. He's going to spin around, bring the caution out, and going to set us up for some type of finish. And it's going to be drivers that really have not been in control all race up front. Austin Moore over Josh Cottle, Elliott Henderson, and Jacob Hayes. And I think Josh Cottle showed us on that restart that the old tires are not going to be a match for the fresh tires. Looks like we're going to have 3 laps to go on the restart. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. And you have to say it. Austin Moore looking for a win to lock himself into the round of 4. Josh Cottle also looking for a win. Elliott Henderson also looking for a win. Nathan Jump back up to the 5th position after his incident, also looking for a win. And looky there's Jake Miller. So 5 of the 6 drivers in our top 6 are playoff drivers. The pace car down pit road, green flag again. Austin Moore's going to spin in front of the field. And it's going to be a big ass pile up on the front straightaway. Oh man. And everything's going to change again. And that's... Oh, man. all those playoff drivers are all those playoff drivers we were just talking about are gone. Well, let's look at it again. We'll slow it down from above. That way you can digest everything that happened just like I did. So we're looking at it at about half speed here. You see the 91, a little bit of a tap from the 37. The 91 almost hits the pit wall, overcorrects back up the track into the 37 in front of the 4, and big damage for a lot of drivers on that restart. Austin Moore in a position to win this race, lock himself into the round of 4, and that ship has sailed. Let's look at it at speed. Look at it at speed and just kind of see what happens. There goes the 91, the 37, the 4. Oh, big contact on the inside for the 63. That's Eric Kemp. That might be his race over. Let's go one more time. Try to see if the 37, the bump the 37 gave the 91 might have been. Yeah, you see the 37 bump the 91 right as the 91 picks up the throttle, and I think that might have been. It might have just been too much of that 91 to handle. He did a good job not hitting the pit wall, but unfortunately was able to overcorrect it, back up the track, collect the 37 and a couple of the trucks in the process. Can't blame the 91 at all there. I think he was just doing the best he could to not hit the pit wall and destroy his race, but the picture has changed again, and look at that. Josh Connell and Jacob Hayes are back in the lead, and it's going to be a green-white checkered here at Hickory, and I don't know anything anymore. Nathan Jump in the 3rd position, the highest running driver on fresh tires. Don't know if he'll be able to get anything done on this restart, but let's take a look at it. The pace car is going to come down pit road. Josh Connell is going to just jump it as much as he can. Nathan Jump into the corner, into the back of Jacob Hayes, going to push him up the track. Nathan Jump inside of that 69 truck of Jacob Hayes. Josh Cottle is going to make it to the white flag, and it looks like he is going to run away with it. Nathan Jump and Jake Miller battling for the 4th position, coming to the line. Ooh, a bit of contact between those two drivers. Josh Cottle is going to get the win. That is going to be all she wrote from Hickory. Josh Cottle takes the victory in a frantic and surprising finish that sees Austin Moore have a little bit of trouble on the second to last restart. That it hands the win to Josh Cottle, making the strategy those drivers strategies look like a ace in the hole when they were in real big danger of not being able to get it done this race. Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes celebrating on the front straightaway. 2 teammates there. You love to see that, and as we look at the finishing order, just tightens things up heading into Homestead. Jake Miller in 3rd, Nathan Jump in 4th, Christopher Heller in 9th, and Elliot Henderson, who was potentially in position behind Austin Moore to get a victory, is going to be actually going to finish a lap down in the 11th position. So a busy night here at Hickory. The 32 of Josh Cottle gets the victory, and you see him celebrating like a man who knows he has a definitive chance at a championship now. So congratulations to Josh Cottle. While I try to wrangle up some drivers in Discord, let's take a look at your full finishing order. Josh Cottle, obviously, with the victory. Jacob Hayes in 2nd. Jake Miller in 3rd. Nathan Jump in 4th. Gavin Fitzgerald in 5th. Brandon Kabarkuski in 6th. Aiden DuPont 7th. Austin Moore 8th. Christopher Helen 9th. And Ashton Lawson 10th. In 11th position, we talked about Elliot Henderson, a lap down after that incident with about 5 laps to go. Ross Brockman Shane Neiswanger, Rod Fosnow, Hunter Brittle, Eric Kepf, Michael Barbachelata, Brett Kingcott, and R.J. Williams. R.J. Williams finishing in the 19th position after another late race incident. Hunter Madalinas in 20th, and then James Shiflett 21st, Lewis Woodall 22nd, Matt Durr, Steven Sims, and Kyle Noble round out your top 25. See if I can't. Oh, look there. You know what? I'll just bring them both in here. What the heck? This is a unique broadcast, so we'll do it a unique way. Jacob Hayes, Josh Cottle. I've got you both up here. And let's talk about that race. Congratulations, Josh Cottle, on the victory. And before we get down to it, I have to ask, did you think that pit strategy was going to work out before that second to last restart?
How I did it at Five Flags. Just the way the tires, man, like you get cautions, it kind of resets your tires. So I knew I'd be able to hold them off, but I wouldn't be faster. So that was kind of my plan. I needed to try something different, though. I didn't want to do the same thing as everybody else.
Well, we saw the three drivers. We saw you three come down pit road at about the halfway mark. Was that something you guys had planned before the race, or was that just kind of how it worked out?
We planned it. We only about had 100 laps on fuel, so we kind of saved a little bit from the first 100, and we kind of needed tires. It was starting to get really loose, especially on the long run. You had to really hang on, but it worked out in the end for us, which is good.
Well, Josh Cottle, you are now locked in to the Final Four at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What's your take? What are you looking to achieve next week at Homestead, and how do you think you stack up heading into Atlanta?
I kind of want to just relax a little bit for Homestead. I'm gonna still try, but I'm just happy I'm able to have a comfortable position into Atlanta, and I think I can. I think I could have something for Atlanta. I really like that track, and I'm better at those type of tracks that you need to save tires at. So we'll see.
We definitely saw that tonight. Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes. I've got both of you in here. Jacob, what was your strategy this race? We saw essentially Josh, Jacob, and RJ running 1, 2, 3 for most of this race. What was your guys' strategy? What was kind of the not the team orders per se, but what was your guys' goal heading into this race?
My plan was just right behind Jinx and be his blocker pretty much to make sure he got it at least 1, 2. And RJ was right there with us, of course. And when he got dumped, I pitted and came through with fresh tires and was trying to hang with Jinx, but got hit and off of one and didn't let that happen. But I probably wouldn't have beat Jinx anyways.
Now we saw that incident with Austin Moore on the second to last restart. Before that restart, once you guys had gotten out of the lead, I think you had much of a chance left to maybe retake the lead.
I was worried personally that under caution, but once we started drifting through the field like we was, I was more scared about tires, but keeping the lead wasn't much of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes, thank you guys for joining us. Josh, Jacob, is there anybody you guys want to thank as we look forward to next week at Homestead, and then the look forward to seeing Josh Cottle in the Final Four at Atlanta?
Yeah, I want to thank y'all for doing the broadcast, man. I'm sure that was an interesting race to watch for sure. I also thank RJ for being the main sponsor of this race. Sad that he got wrecked out, but we still got the dub for him. But thank you to HCM, the shop, and Mother Truckers and Rocket Iris Reps for everything they do for me. What a race that was, though. I'm just happy I locked myself in and see what we can do for these boys. We got Zach, and he's fast, and I'm just trying my best here.
Jacob?
Um, like to thank basically everybody Jinx said. Appreciate Eric for letting me join on with them throughout the season whenever I feel like showing up. That's about it.
Oh yeah, also thank you to Spectrum. Eric's a guy. Eric's a homie. He let me race for him this season again full time, and I'm having a blast.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Jacob. Josh, congratulations on the win, and we'll see both of you, I assume, next week at Homestead, and then Josh, we'll see you at Atlanta racing for the championship.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Let's see if we can get our third place finisher in here. Jake Miller. I didn't say your name much tonight, but you managed to sneak out of it with the top 3. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good.
As we look forward to next week at Homestead, Jake, how do you think? I believe you're going to be above the cut line coming out of this race. How do you think your odds stand at maybe getting the win or advancing to the Final Four at Homestead?
Oh, we've been to Homestead 3 times in this league, and I think 2 out of those 3 times I had the fastest truck, and 1 time iRacing didn't put gas in my truck, and the other time I got wrecked. So I'm feeling pretty confident about Homestead. Just got to put some practice in, and I am the cutoff, so I'm 1 point above Nathan, who would be 5th in points. So it's going to be a very close cutoff, and I'm going to be focusing on just trying to win, I guess, be first or second, and try and beat all these other guys in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at that, you're right. That cut line, very tight, going to be heading into Homestead. Talking about tonight, Jake, how was the truck? And finished 3rd, but we didn't really see you up there much until the end. What was your take on all the kind of the chaos happening there in the end?
So I didn't really practice for this race, and I think I qualified pretty well, like 7th or something. And yeah, I wasn't up front at all, and the point of this was just like 5 flags was to survive. And towards the end there, my teammate Austin Moore decided to bump Hayes and Caudle out of the way to get RJ and Caudle out of the way to try and get the win. And then we had that bad restart, and I had nothing to do with Austin and Elliott wrecking each other there, but that's unfortunate because it would have been nice to get us in the winner circle. But, it was pretty scary trying to survive all of it. And I'm beyond thankful to come away with 3rd place and just be able to survive.
All right, Jake, well, as we wrap things up here, is there anybody you want to thank for tonight and thank as we head into Homestead?
Yep, same person as always, Uncle Ron and my teammates. That's all.
All right, well, thank you, Jake. Finishes 3rd place tonight here at Hickory. Well, I think that is just gonna do it for us here tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway. We'll leave you with one final look at your top 10, and we look forward to next week. Hopefully, we'll see everyone next week in Homestead. That'll be next Tuesday, October 25th, same time, same channel, right here on the Flatout Racing Network. It is going to be a battle to see who our final 2 drivers that advance into the Final Four at Atlanta are. So for Kyle Lawrence and Alex Collins, who are out doing adult things tonight, my name is Jeff Johnson in the booth here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.